It's a great pleasure for me to be with you, and I suppose in a way I'd like to start just by saying a word about something I did last week. I was a long way away from the UK last week. I was in Japan and Korea, and while I was in Korea, and I chair, by the way, the Parliamentary Committee on North Korea, a country I've been to on 4 occasions, I met with a young man called Shin Don-hok, and there's a brilliant book which I can recommend to you called Escape from Camp 14, and it tells Shin's story. It describes how in a prison camp where he was born, and there are around 200,000 people living in the prison camps of North Korea, Shin saw his mother and his 2 brothers executed by the prison guards, and then he was personally tortured in all sorts of indescribable, horrific ways. Shin eventually escaped from the camp, and these days he spends a lot of time trying to promote peace and reconciliation and human rights. And you can learn more about him from the internet. Shin Don-hok is his name. And you will, I think, be inspired by him. Why? Because he is a man who lives his faith and has had to pay a huge price for his faith. Just like Maryam Ibrahim, who was the young woman in Sudan, who, because she refused to give up her faith, was taken and imprisoned while pregnant and told that she would be executed. Or just like the 200 schoolgirls in Nigeria who were abducted, who are suffering for their faith. So many times we take our faith for granted, but Shin and Maryam Ibrahim and the girls in Nigeria are a good example to each of us that if a faith is worth dying for, then maybe for us it might be worth living for. What is there that is more important? Now, when young people used to ask me what they needed to study if they were interested in entering public or political life, I used to say that a grasp of economics or current affairs would serve them really well. Read political biography, understand some basic concepts of philosophy, grapple with competing ideas and ideology. But today, if you ask me the same question, I would unhesitatingly say that the first thing which you need to understand if you have an interest in politics or public life is religion and theology. Now, whether you survey the domestic or the international agenda, without a grasp of the ideas which underpin our Judeo-Christian tradition, and without a knowledge of other faiths and of secular humanism, it's impossible to have a coherent view of geopolitical issues or of the profound ethical and moral questions which constantly emerge on the legislative agenda at Westminster.